Controversial topic.
Everyone was annoyed when they heard about damage in Need for Speed Heat. Anyone that's been following the channel for a while will know that I'm not quick to judge. If I see something, I'll give it a try before, jumping on the bandwagon. A lot of people were like, damage, I don't like this game.
It's Need for Speed Rivals.
It's not Need for Speed Rivals, and I actually think damage is one of the best things to come to Need for Speed's gameplay loop.
Before we go ahead and get into today's video, I want to say make sure to subscribe for loads of exclusive Need for Speed Heat content in the future. We've got loads planned over the course of the next week.
So as we all know, cop chases have been completely revamped for Need for Speed 2019. Now, this means numerous things. I see a lot of people when they're talking about pursuits, they just kind of say stuff blindly. They don't really think. Like, for one example, pursuit breakers. Now, I do think pursuit breakers could come back in some form, and there's also a few other things that I think could come back in some form, which I'm going to talk about in a separate cop video when I actually have some gameplay to show you that isn't corrupted. But pursuit breakers aren't really needed with how the pursuits in this game are structured. So when people think of Need for Speed pursuits, they tend to think of smashing as many cops as you can, totaling as many cops as you can, and basically just seeing how high you can go. Need for Speed Heat is much more tactical than that this time round. I found when I played the game that it was very much so, not so how many cops you can take down, but how long you can last, and it was more survival. Genuinely felt like I was going into the dark zone from the Division, or some type of survival, like Dying Light almost. It was really, really weird. Your whole strategy of how police works is completely different. So there was one occasion when I was playing the game that I unfortunately don't have gameplay for, where I just finished a Heat level 4 pursuit. I was on medium damage. I had one repair left. There's cops absolutely everywhere, but my engine's turned off and I'm in a side alley. Now I'm staring at the map, trying to find an opening while these cops are moving around and stuff. Then eventually when the cops moved away and the kind of map opened up, I gutted it straight to the nearest safe house and banked all of my rep. And that is what makes Need for Speed Heat's pursuit so special. If you go back to Most Wanted 2005, if you go back to Carbon, if you go back to any of those games, the cops are not dangerous. This one happened in the Undercover Challenge series. Go watch that video, went out yesterday. Oh my lord, if that has actually got... No, I haven't done it.
Bruh.
Don't be so silly.
Bruh.
Have I done it?
Bruh.
Oh my lord, that wasn't even 40 seconds. That was like 16 seconds. So yeah, as you can see, the black box series cops, they weren't really that tactical, they weren't really that interesting. But this time round, the mere fact I had to camp in, I was basically camping. I was camping in Need for Speed. What is going on? The fact I had to camp in that building with my engine off, it wasn't like I was just sitting there. I was sitting there with my engine off, waiting for the cops to pass, then to find my opening. That is much more interesting for me in the gameplay loop than saying just ramming them is. And don't get me wrong, if you want to just ram them, you can set up your car to do so, but a stock car won't be able to do that. As you guys already know, you can reinforce your cars with the performance upgrades this time around, so if you do want to go classic Need for Speed and you do want to ram them, it's not going to be as effective as, dodging them, weaving, hitting them from the side. There's tactics you can use with the police this time around, so if you hit them in the side instead of the back or the front, that's kind of their weak spot. If you hit them in the back and the front, you're likely to take more damage, but if you go into the side, you'll take less damage. You'll still take a little bit of damage, but a lot less than you would if you were to go head on. And when you think about all of this from that perspective, and I've gone on a little bit of a tangent here about the pursuit generally, damage is so important in that gameplay loop. If damage wasn't there, or it was there but it was really, really strong, it would make all that completely pointless. I wouldn't have to think about, hitting the cop in the side instead of going in the front, or maybe brake checking him and then going round or whatever, because then it's just not a thing in the gameplay. That is why damage is absolutely sick. I haven't even talked about the repairs you get per night. Per night you get 3 repairs as of the recording of this video. That might change in the future for patch notes if they decide to. I don't think it needs to. I think it needs to stay at 3. But you get 3 repairs per night. As you go along, obviously you got to choose when to use your repairs. So, do you use your repairs when you're at damage critical and then, risk it, or do you use them at half damage? If you aren't planning on staying out for the whole night and getting to Heat level 5 and you're only out there to just do a few races before you head off, go to work, then you're going to just keep repairing until you run out of repairs and go home, basically, aren't you? Again, a whole level of strategy that wasn't available in Most Wanted, it wasn't available in Carbon, and honestly, looking at Need for Speed Heat's pursuits, especially at the lower heat levels, I'm going to say it is a lot more fun than those games. I think a lot of people have clouded judgments on those games, like Heat Level 1, Heat Level 2, Heat Level 3. Sometimes 3 would be challenging, but for the most part in the black box game, you know, Carbon, Most Wanted, etc., they were brain dead. They were not good. You will follow them. You'd have to kind of have to baby them. As with this time round, at Heat Level 1 right at the start, you do kind of have to like let them lead you. But as soon as you get into Heat Level 2, and sometimes at Heat Level 1, oh my god, with the kind of earlier cars that we were using at the Guildford event, it was hard. I can imagine when you actually have a maxed out car, it's probably going to be a little bit easier. But when we were using the base cars at Heat Level 5, oh my god, it's genuinely thrilling. And I'm not a cop person, I'm much more into my racing, but I can genuinely see myself spending so much time in the cops with Need for Speed Heat just because of how fun it is. All of this, then if you keep in mind high heat races, that keeps in there's so many things with the pursuits that they've done right. And honestly, if I'm gonna have to rank all of the things they've done right, obviously handling is gonna be somewhere up there, and you know, everyone knows the handling's a lot better this time. I'm still yet to try a lot of the drift handlings, I'm not gonna fully comment on that, but the grip handling's really, really good. But the cops honestly are number one for me. Like, cops are number one. Genuinely, cops are the best thing to come out of Need for Speed, and damage is one of those reasons. Damage is awesome. And I honestly think you guys will think so when the game comes out, you know, next week. We've literally got like, what, 4 or 5 days till you guys get your hands on the game. Exciting. Nighttime over daytime for me. I can say that now. I'm a nighttime guy. Nighttime owl. That is where I'm going to be spending most of my time in Need for Speedy, and I'm very interested to hear what you guys think as well. So that's been it for me today. I'd probably put a card up there somewhere, so make sure to go ahead and vote. Are you daytime or nighttime? But that's been it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have been awesome. Stay safe and peace.